flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, first up, we got a couple sets of minutes.
Mr. President, I would move that we approve the minutes from our special meeting held on the 28th of December and the meeting following that on the 3rd of January as submitted.
Second. We have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That passes. Accounts payable.
Mr. Commissioner, I'd like to recommend the claims from December 29th, 2021 through January 18th, 2022 be approved without exception.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That passes. Payroll.
Mr. President, I would also like to recommend the payroll dated January 7th, 2022 be approved without exception.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That passes. All right, continuing disclosure agreement. Bob?
This is an agreement that we have each year with Financial Solutions Group, and when you have bonds, you have to disclose some of the information about the county to the bond rating agencies, and you have to be certified to be able to do that. So we have contracted this out for a number of years, and we ask that that be done again.
Any questions?
Mr. President, I'll make a motion. We approve the continuing disclosure agreement with FSG Corporation.
And I will second that motion.
Once again, we have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That passes. Highway, Stewart.
Good morning.
Good morning.
We have today street acceptances for Concord Ridge, Phase 4. We have 3 streets, Abbeville Drive, Hyacinth Lane, and Leeward Lane, total of 0.521 miles of new street, along with a maintenance bond in the amount of $47,802.50 from Atlas Excavating.
Mr. President, I would move that we approve the streets in the Concord Ridge subdivision, Section 4, as outlined by our highway engineer.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to accept these streets. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? That passes. Now the maintenance bond.
Mr. President, I'll make a motion. We approve the corresponding maintenance bond as stated.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the bond from Atlas. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That passes. Thank you. National insurance. Shirley.
Good morning.
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 Nothing to sign on this one. Just wanted to let you know that we did get our renewal for January 1, 2022 for our life and long-term disability through National Insurance Services. And we got a letter from R.E. Sutton and Associates indicating that they've negotiated a rate guarantee through January 1st of 2024. So we will not have any increases through then.
That's great.
That's very good news. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, next
Opposite
up,
of me asking for something.
Kent Presido. He just walked out the door. You must have knew he was next. Max, you want to handle it?
Oh.
Too late. Oh.
That's what the Presidio agreement is. It's
You want to
pay
take
schedule.
you want to take a breath? You can.
The second in charge at the health department's calling me, so, but it's just a rate schedule. I'm not planning on using them right away, but it's something we need to have in place.
It's a what schedule?
A rate schedule,
Oh, a rate.
the hourly
schedule.
rate
Okay.
for
Okay.
services.
Okay.
I might need them for a part of the phone project coming up in the next month or so.
Mr. President, I'll make a motion, we approve the agreement with Presidio Network Solutions Group as outlined.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That passes. Go. Okay, an extension with MOU with Purdue University. Do we have anybody from Health Department?
I can break out with this one. In August, I believe, of 2020, the county entered into an MOU with Purdue, just creating a set of understandings about contact tracing, where Purdue handles the contact tracing on campus and reports back to the health department. They've been continuing on doing that. Technically, the agreement expired a year later in August of 21, and so this just extends the agreement again for another year dated back from August of 21.
Okay. Any questions?
Mr. President, I would move that we approve amendment number 1 to the MOU as outlined by council.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve this extension. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That passes. Next up, we have a lease agreement with the Master Gardeners. I don't know if Doug... No, you got to go all the way around the hallway first and then come in, you know? So,
Morning.
Good
no,
morning.
Doug wants to hit a couple points on this one or not, but
Sure, and I think you can do these both together in a single motion, but there are 2 leases. One we've called a real estate lease, and the second one is a parking lot lease. The real estate lease leases the ground south of the extension office to the Master Gardener Association of Tippecanoe County. And this one's basically an annual release that renews automatically, and to terminate it, I think you have to do it before July 1st of any year to terminate it by the beginning of next year. So it's a fairly flexible lease that can terminate relatively easily for the purpose of letting the Master Gardeners use that space for their membership. And then there's the second one's a parking lot lease. It designates sections of the parking lot that they can use for their purposes adjacent to the gardens. And that one's lengthier. It has a series of 5-year options. The sort of trick is that it can be dissolved if the underlying real estate lease is dissolved, and the purpose of that is if the extension offices with the parking lot were to change hands, the gardeners would still have access to those spaces as long as the lease of the real estate to the south is still in place. And the lease is a nominal sum of $1.
My name is Jim Jure. I'm co-president of the Master Gardeners Association of Tippecanoe County. I just want to thank you for the opportunity to continue on that land with, as our volunteers do their work, beautification, education, donations of fresh produce to the local food pantries, and then we provide plots to residents who are without enough space to garden in their own homes or apartments.
Do you have any questions for us?
Well, just thank you to Jim and your entire team for spending the time with us to educate us about the mission of Master Gardeners and provide us with a tour and then the ongoing work as we worked out the finer details. It's a great partnership.
It's a perfect use for that piece of property, so.
and I hope we don't bankrupt you either.
Well, they'll be all right. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, we'll entertain a motion for these 2 agreements.
Mr. President, I'll make a motion, we approve the lease agreements with Master Gardener Association of Tippecanoe County as outlined.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve both of these leases. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That passes. An addendum to SRI tax sale agreement.
Do you want me to
I
do this, or
think
do you want to do it? Okay. Basically, this is an agreement for SRI to do a commissioner sale for the properties that have not sold in a traditional tax sale. So we will be moving forward with that later this year for a date to be decided upon later. Doug, remind me, do we at this point need to determine what that price will be?
Price for the properties or the
Yeah.
price for the?
The commissioners, how much we will be selling each of those parcels for?
Yeah, that's the next thing, your resolution.
That's in the next
05
resolution?
has
Okay.
a
Okay.
schedule.
Okay, all right. So with that, I'll make a motion, we approve this services agreement with SRI.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve this service agreement with SRI. All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? That passes. Now we have a resolution with 21 properties on it.
Okay, so this outlines the properties that will be offered and states that those will be offered.
I see a price on it.
I don't know that I see.
Do you have the exhibit?
I do.
Okay, and the exhibit should say minimum bid at tax sale on one of the, as I'm reading that, I think what you're setting the minimum bid as the minimum bid at tax sale.
Well, typically, though,
Yeah, it's supposed to be less.
Jennifer, correct me, we typically decide whether they're either a price like of $100 or $50, correct? Yes. So basically, I think what we need to do is approve a minimum bid that will be approved as part of this.
Yeah, so, let's see. So, do you want to make it $100?
That would make some sense, yes.
All right, so let's amend what has been presented to you to add a last paragraph that says, now therefore be it further resolved that such tax sale certificates shall be offered at a minimum price of $100.
Okay.
Is it a minimum price, or will all of them be $100? I thought before we have them, if you're saying a minimum of 100, what
But if there's
makes
two,
it greater than 100?
if there's two bidders, it starts at 100, so they could bid more than $100.
Well, they could, but the minimum, you're saying the
Minimum
minimum bid.
bid.
Okay, so you're just starting it, they're all going to be $100?
They're all going to be
Okay,
$100.
okay.
If there's more than one bidder, it could sell for more than 100. Right, yeah, yeah. Mr. President, I'll make a motion, we approve Resolution 2022-05-CM as amended.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve this resolution. Any more discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That passes.
And I'll get
A new one?
an updated document for you for signature.
Okay, we have, next up is Tecton Agreement. This is for a roof job here at our building.
Mr. President, I would move that we approve the proposal for the bidding phase services for the re-roof of the Tippecanoe building.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve this Tecton Agreement. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That passes. And on the same project, we have an agreement with Browning Day for architectural services.
Mr. President, I would move that we approve the agreement with Browning Day for architectural services for the same project, a rooftop or roof replacement on the Tippecanoe building.
Second.
Motion and second to approve this contract as stated. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That passes. Now we go to Tippecanoe Villa with a generator agreement with Houston. I think Tony's in here.
No, he could not be here.
Looks like this is an agreement with Houston Generators to perform maintenance on the generator at the Villa, major maintenance at a rate of $1,431 a year, and I move for approval.
Second.
Motion and second to approve this service agreement. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That passes. Another service agreement for fire protection at the Villa.
This is an agreement that is enforced from January of 2022 to December of 2025 for 2 inspections each year for a total of $1,435 per year. I would move for approval.
Second.
Motion and second to approve this inspection agreement. All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? That passes. Sharon, grants.
Morning.
World in the grants today. The Drug Free Coalition has opened their RFQ, and the Health Department, Community Corrections, and Sheriff's Office will all be seeking funds from the DFC for various projects related to the 2022 Comprehensive Community Plan.
Mr. President, I'll make a motion we grant permission to apply for health, community corrections, and sheriff as outlined.
Second?
Motion and second. All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? That passes.
CASA for Kids is seeking a grant from CASA for Kids Fund in an amount of, I corrected that, on yours it says 52, but it's 54,430 for funding of a regular part-time position, benefits, and insurance for single coverage.
So is this a new position, or is this
So
an
it's
existing?
current-
So
it's
this is a
existing one.
reoccurring.
Yes, it's only funded by grant position.
Mr. President, I'll make a motion we grant permission to apply.
Second?
Motion and second to approve. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes.
And Cary Youth would like to seek permission to apply for Juvenile Community Corrections FY23 grant from July 21st, 22 to June 30th, 23, up to $271,637, and the funds will support the evidence-based programming, school-based interventions, home detention, vehicle repair and gas, and basic office supplies. There's 2 there. I suppose I can do them together, or do I need to keep them separate? Okay, and the other one is to apply for the Juvenile Detention Alternative Initiative. Same dates, and the amount is $70,000, and those funds are to continue to community engagement, the School Justice Partnership, tutoring and school interventions, teen brain programming, and attendance at the annual Intersite Conference.
Mr. President, I would move that we grant permission for Carrie Home to apply for both grants.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That passes.
We have 2 grants. We need to accept permission to accept them. Community Corrections received the Comprehensive Opioid Stimulant and Substance Abuse Site-Based Program, New Leaf Project, in an amount of $1.2 million to cover the necessary personnel and continued support for 3 years on this program.
Mr. President, I'll make a motion we grant permission to accept.
Second?
We have a motion and a second to accept this grant for community corrections. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That passes.
And Circuit Court Judge Person received a $75,000 Manchi grant from the Indiana Supreme Court Division of State Court Admission Adult Guardianship Office to supplement the Wabash Center Guardianship Service, and the MOU was signed during the application stage of the funding.
Mr. President, I'll make a motion we grant permission to accept as stated.
Second?
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That passes. Thank you. Okay, any unfinished or new business that needs to come before the commissioners?
I have none.
I have none.
Reports on file, we have one with the clerk of the courts and the Tippecanoe County coroners. Those reports will be in the commissioner's office for public viewing if deemed. Any public comment? See none?
Motion to adjourn.
Meeting adjourned. Thank you.